Hello! We have had a big week with the release of the Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart World. I've never made a video of this style, so please let me know if you have any suggestions. But today I'll cover 15 reasons why Mario Kart World is the best Nintendo game we have seen in a long time. And I'll cover a few bonus, so make sure to stick around. But I would like to say a few things first. This video is segmented into two parts. The first 10 reasons are about the new free roam mode, then we'll cover the Grand Prix and some bonus. I'd also like to say that Mario Kart Wii is my favorite personal game of all time, so I'll use that as reference a lot. But without further ado, if you're new here, please check if you can sub, because my button may or may not be broken. Also, be sure to comment if the button works for you and we'll get straight into it. With the announcement of this feature in the trailers, I was really scared to see this feature get added, to be honest. It looked really snappy and I didn't understand how this would help the actual race, but it turns out I was completely wrong about this. It feels like every move you make in the game is just so fluid and responsive, and even today I'm still discovering new tricks and things you can do. This feature is so smooth and fun, and it's a really cool idea just to change the way the game's mechanics work. I can imagine the sheer amount of YouTube videos and shortcuts that people are gonna make with all of this new movement. And it's really fun to try out just all the different ways to move around. It feels like another Odyssey. The amount of characters in the Mario universe, as we all know, goes on for hours. So many different characters that don't get their chances in the spotlight, but in this game, a few of them do. Some people don't like the addition of all of these new enemies as racers, but in my opinion, the more the merrier. The screen's a little cluttered where you select your characters, but everyone already knows that. Whether they're on the track as an obstacle or playable as a racer or even turned into a bike. So many of our favorite characters that are just a little too niche are finally here. Before I go on my tangent about this third reason, because there's a lot to talk about, take a look at this gameplay of Mario Kart Wii. For its time, the game is beautiful. The graphics, colors, and art style of this game is my favorite that we've ever seen. This is kind of my comfort game. The physics and almost everything about it is just my favorite. But then you take a look at this game. These visuals are probably the best I have ever seen from a Nintendo game, and I can say that with no doubt in my mind. Almost everywhere I look, it feels like it could be an album cover, which is a weird way to describe it, but I hope you can still understand. The graphics that the Switch 2 is putting out now gets me so excited to see the future of this console. Long story short, this is the graphics and quality that I bought the Switch 2 for. And I'm so proud to see that a launch title is putting out numbers like this already. Of course, you had the whole psychology trick that they did with the bundle, and the worst part is that they got me. I was there day one. I'm sure you've heard this before, but honestly, my capture card or any footage that you see on YouTube, I feel just doesn't really do it justice how good this game looks in handheld mode. It's incredible. It feels like I'm playing with a Steam Deck, and I will just never get over how quality the console itself, everything about it is. But that's a whole nother thing. Alright, so this one might feel a little personal, but I'm sure some of you guys can relate to this. When I first saw the trailers for this game, they showed people driving around in the water. And I kind of assumed it was something cool you could do, but it would get really boring. You know, like driving in Fortnite in the water, as weird of a comparison as this is, it's not very fun, you know? But it turns out that exploring the water is just one of my favorite things to do in this game. You can drift around on the water and it just looks so gorgeous. You can do tricks off of the waves, and there's even these little boats that are just everywhere. Some of them will try to attack you, some of them will help you, as you just saw. And there's so much to do out there, oddly enough. It makes me so happy that we had a course that is strictly water racing almost. Salty Speedway is what I'm talking about. But this right here kind of segues perfectly into my next reason. Okay, so I hope you can understand what I mean by ride-alongs. Honestly, I don't know what they're called, but I'm gonna call them that because it's kind of what you do. I've already seen the clip of the UFO driving in free roam, but I had no idea that there was this crazy yacht jet ski thing. Okay, I just realized I missed it in gameplay. Give me, give me 1 second. But I actually had no idea these were a thing until I was just playing Grand Prix with my friend and we ran into one of these. It's so awesome to see cool, crazy stuff like this in a Mario Kart game, and they did it perfectly. It's really just insanely huge, which also segments right into my next point. Hey, I see you, script writer Caden. Okay, so I really hope you can follow along with me here. The term magnum opus refers to your big bang, your grand finale. And in my opinion, while it would be easy to see this as Nintendo's magnum opus, like a grand Mario Kart, to wrap up all other Mario Karts, kind of like how Smash Ultimate feels. After playing the game for a short amount of time, you can tell that they're nowhere close to being done. Now, the reason for that is just because of looking at the last game and how big that was. You know, we went from 96 tracks to 32. The cross-course sections are awesome, but I don't know if you'd count those as a track, and they're really fun to play as in the Grand Prix, but when I'm just hopping into versus mode, a little couch co-op action, like, I'm not really looking for just 32 courses. And Nintendo, if you're listening, what the hell is this battle mode? You did the same thing that they did to us with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I know this is supposed to be reasons about how this game is amazing, but I'm going to be honest with you. The battle mode is not amazing. I think it's because we've seen the potential and how crazy they could go for battle mode, and then we're just moving straight to this, and it feels so unnatural and weird. You'd think that a better, bigger battle mode in the last game would mean that we get the same courtesy in this one, but clearly that wasn't the case, and honestly I'm okay with waiting if it's gonna come in the form of a free update later. Nintendo has a lot on their plate right now. They just released the Switch 2, I kinda understand. But that's also to say, if this update does not come in a free update form factor, I really could not justify buying this game. I know I'm making a video on why it's just a huge, amazing thing, but if this is all we're getting for the price we paid, and there's no free update, it's like a booster pass again, it's like 20 bucks. I'm sorry, y'all. I had the luxury of getting this because I knew ahead of time and started saving money and putting money away. That's just how Nintendo people are. But for those of you that didn't, yes, this game is awesome, but I'm not trying to force you to get the game. I'm simply making a video talking about why I love it. Sorry I had to get that quick little disclaimer out the way. But now the video is going to change up a bit because we're talking about the Grand Prix instead of just free roam and all the new stuff. So something I do remember seeing in the build up and hype for this game is they invited a few YouTubers to come and try it, or Nintendo people in general, and people said that the infinite tricking felt weird. And I was really scared about this because a lot of things have felt weird to me while playing Mario Kart. I don't know, I've never liked motion controls, none of that junk. But when I tell you that infinite tricking feels cool, it feels like when you do a dash in a Sonic game and you just do all those cool tricks in the air. I think that's where they got it from, to be honest. But it feels so fluid and good, and I don't know if it actually helps you in the race, but I feel awesome while I'm doing it. Alright, this one's going to be really short, but I want to talk about these new stickers. I've always loved the advertisements that you see on the sides of Mario Kart tracks, and it's cool to see those in a full sticker. I really hope Nintendo releases these as actual stickers. That would be cool. You can also change the front sticker that you see. It's this weird thing. You can see me doing it on the screen. But they're really cool little collectibles, and I'm glad we have something for those 100%er people to work towards. Okay, so I really hope I'm not alone here, but I am so excited to see that pre-built carts are back. When the feature first came out in Mario Kart 7, it was awesome. But you gotta understand that in Mario Kart 8, we had that for about it was like a decade that we played the same game, and building your own cart just kind of felt like, one, you'd have an ugly looking dumb cart, and two, it had people looking through the stats and choosing the same exact thing every single time. Which I know there's no real way to avoid that, as people are still going to do the same thing, but I am so happy because it just feels so much more fun, and it allows Nintendo to be more creative with their carts. I feel like it adds a level of just pickup ability, if that makes sense. I can show this screen to my dad and he'll pick out a cart that looks cool to him. It's just a lot more simple than sliding through each different part of your car, and you only got to customize the wheels and the body, so it didn't really feel super yours. I've had a lot of people tell me that it just makes the overall game quicker, and I'm so happy to see Karts back. Alright, I'm gonna try to do this one best I can. As I said in the beginning, this is my first time making a video like this, so I don't exactly know whether I just show you guys the music or talk about it or what. But the music in this game is played a lot differently than any other Mario Kart we've seen. It's more of like a big playlist of reimagined Nintendo music that plays throughout the whole thing. I'm pretty sure as I select a course, it plays that course's music and just continues through the playlist. And I could be wrong and it plays actual course music through each course, but that's how it feels during the game. And unless you're listening to just straight up the music, that's how it's gonna feel. I really like the whole vibe Nintendo went for this. They really went around that Mario circuit, like Western kind of vibe for the music of this game. I think the orchestra that they used is Tokyo Ska Paradise. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but there's really no way that I can do it justice just by talking about it. I'm having it play in the background, but I really suggest that you either watch some gameplay of this game that has the music, or listen to it on YouTube or wherever you can find it, I don't know. Or just listen to it somehow. It's super different and I love the way they did it. Okay, so these two are kind of conjoined because I'm looking at the script for this video and I'm kind of realizing that they are just so similar, I have to put them together. I have written down that the Grand Prix feels good and Course Drive is not instant. Grand Prix feels so nice in this game that I could honestly play it for a very long time. I almost beat every single one of the Grand Prix the second me and my buddy picked up this game. I will say that in Mario Kart Wii, I can only play about 2 or 3 of the Grand Prix before I take a break or I have to put the game down. This is the complete opposite. The way that you drive to the next track is super unique, and seeing it in announcements and stuff made me think it was going to be boring, and I really did not have high hopes for this game, as I'm kind of realizing now. But no, it is so much fun, and it's honestly one of my favorite parts about the track. Driving along the road and dodging these Mario enemy car things are just so fun, and there's so many different things going on at once. 24 racers, while it is incredibly chaotic, it's still super fun to see them doing something new. Next, I'd like to bring up cartoony graphics. Yes, this right here. I love the way this looks, and we've seen more and more realistic looking things in Nintendo games, and it's nice to finally kick back for a minute and see them having some fun with the designs. This whole game has that aesthetic, and when I first saw it in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I have to admit, I was not really a fan. But after something like this and really actually playing Mario Wonder, yes, I love the way it looks, and I think it's a great step to something feeling fresh. This reason's almost kind of a statement I'd like to put out about the general game itself. Nothing in this game is boring. I have picked up this game just to drive around and do nothing really so many times. I already have logged a ton of hours on the game, and this is really early footage where I hadn't unlocked much of anything yet, but I promise you, my game looks a lot different now. This has been my new game just to pick up and drive around while I'm watching a YouTube video or listening to something in the background. It's so fun, and it feels like every single time I pick it up, I'm figuring out something new. My last little reason why this game is spectacular is kind of open-ended. There's so much stuff I didn't cover in this video, and I'd really encourage you to go look into it more, and if you have the chance to, try this game out. And I really just cannot explain or even show with my capture card how great this game looks in your hands. I'm so excited to see Nintendo taking turns like this and doing new, fresh things with their IPs that they've kept the same for so long. We got an announcement about the new Splatoon Raiders, and I'm so excited to just see this new era and wave of Nintendo. But thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry this took so long, but I'd really appreciate it if you'd comment about anything down below and drop a sub if you're feeling risky. I have a lot more Nintendo stuff that I will be pushing out since I got the Switch 2, and I hope you have a great day.